Not just a job, farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers, and because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainings and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, good evening wherever you are watching us from. My name is Garuba Fizolumide, reporting live for Voice of the Farmer. And this is a show where we are going to be hosting one of our farmers at Port Harcourt. Yes, that is an aquaculturist that is into fish farming. So today we are going to be looking at how can farmers, that is fish farmers, mitigate the effect of climate change. And that is why we bring, we are bringing to you an expert in the industry that really knows about what is going on when it comes to the aquaculture sector. Yes, I'll be bringing him on board now just to talk to us about how farmers can mitigate the effect of climate change and what are the things they need to do when it comes to mitigating the effect of climate change. Let me just go on this short break. We'll be right back.
E pass wetin you go just break, e comot, e chop, abi you soak garri. Yes o, coconut e pass chop. Coconut na one fruit wey everything for im body plus even the shell e get important use. You sef no know ba? Na why you gat to patronize TUJ coconut products. TUJ coconut products na 100% from coconut. Talk about coconut oil wey dem dey use treat arthritis, coconut oil for cooking, coconut flour, coconut chips, coconut swallow, coconut oil, cold press and hot press. Plus all the coconut products wey you dey find. Our head office dey number 12 Adebowale Caroline Street off Winner Street, Aradagun, Badagry. We also dey deliver for anywhere for inside Naija abi outside Naija. All you need to do na to call us abi chat us for this number 0806 475 4853 0806 475 4853. Abi make you follow us for all our social media pages at TUJ Coconuts. TUJ Coconut Products na chiamo for different better coconut products wey you dey find.
Yes, welcome back from that short break. Yes, we just have a short break so that we'll be able to bring in our guest from the other end. So let me bring him on board because he's not at the other end there, that's at the back end. Just talk to us about what we need to know when it comes to climate change and how fish farmer can mitigate the effect of climate change. Yes, good evening, Mr. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Hello,
I'm
can you
fine,
hear me?
and you, Mr.
Yes, I'm fine
Loud
too.
and clear.
I'm fine
I
too.
can hear you.
Yes. Yes, for the sake of people that are meeting
Yeah.
you for the first time, sir, please introduce yourself to our viewers out there.
Okay. My name is Mr. Azuka Chikube, and I'm the director of CBA Multi Services Nigerian Limited. We are detailed into aquaculture and other agricultural services. Yeah, so we are deeply into agriculture, and we have our own share of the aquaculture industry, and that is some of the insights we'll be bringing on this show. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Asuka. You know, it's going to be a very brief one because this is not going to be the last time we are going to be having this conversation because when we're talking about climate change, it's something that is wide and broad that we need to talk more about it and see how we can let people understand what they can do when it comes to mitigation of climate change in aquaculture sector. Now, for people that doesn't really know about climate change, because I need to be sincere with you, not everybody understands what climate change is. So, in your own language, as a farmer, as an aquaculturist, what will you say climate change is? Hello, can you hear me? I think the network is not too good from his own end. If you are just joining us, this is Mr. Asuka. He's an aquaculturist, is a fish farmer in Port Harcourt, and he does a lot of things when it comes to aquaculture. He will be talking to us today on what we need to know when you're talking about how to mitigate the effect of climate change. So I think the network from his other end is not too good. That is why he was unable to give a response to the question I asked him. So hello, Mr. Azuka. Okay, now I think he left. Probably he's going to join us back. So if I just joining us, this is Voice of the Farmer. My name is Garuba Fisolumide. We'll be hosting Mr. Azuka, which is a fish farmer and aquaculturist from Port Harcourt. That will be talking to us about what we need to know when it comes to climate change. Yes, I think it's back now. So I said, some people don't really have an idea about what climate change is, but to be sincere with you, climate change is really, really hitting us hard, especially in the aquaculture sector. Because if you see what happened at let me say Borno and Meduguri lately, you know that yes, if this happened to a fish farmer, definitely I'm not sure you can have anything back. So now, for the sake of people watching us, and for the sake of people that doesn't really know what climate change is, in your own language, what do you think climate change is, sir?
Okay, Olumide Aziz, thank you very much for using at the end saying in my own language. Thank you very much for that. That is also a an approach of mitigating climate change,
Mm,
understanding the environment. Now, I can easily give you a lecture. If you want, I can give you a lecture on climate change. But I think we are actually getting it wrong. And if you look at one of the when the write up you sent, the write up on the topic, I feel I know we don't have a solution to climate
mm,
change. What we can do is mitigations, ways we can actually um, improve our environment. If you see FOA, if you see their current the current approach they are using right now for food is the 4 Bs: better environment, better nutrition, better life, and better production. You see, this
mm,
is all what climate change is talking about. And for me, I think at this time we should, while we talk about climate change, as farmers, and I want to, that is the perspective I want to come from. Saying the problem in Meduguri, we can, as an example, then I think there are even more to that. That is just one thing you have seen. And
mm,
I must tell you the truth. Climate change, we need to change our perspective about climate change. Climate
mm,
change should be shouldn't be generalized the way we have also talked about the topic and all that, the effects and impact. Climate change is deep, and at all points we need to tackle them one after the other. And this is the reason why I'll bring you to the idea of the first and the fundamental things about climate change is for the farmers to understand it, for the real farmers to understand, who actually creates and plays a major role in the industry within their locality. I don't know if you get me. How many of
mm.
these how many of these local farmers understand the effect of climate change? That is the question. That is where sensitization has to come in from people like you and me. How many people, let me also ask you, how many people do you think we can also reach through this medium, which is the internet? How many of these real farmers? Because while talking about climate change, I think it is totally, it is not going to be it is not going to be good if we just classify it on just aquaculture, because aquaculture plays so many factors in the agricultural sector. When you talk about aquaculture, we also talk about aquatic plants. We also talk about inputs. So it is very vast. So I would want us to first look at the fundamental, and the fundamental is one, enlightening these farmers, enlightening these farmers. I Today somebody contacted me, and he has a fish bacteria issue, and this is the first time it is happening. These are the things we are talking about. This is the climate change we are talking about. Things happening affecting productivity, which is also a major threat to food security. So I think we need to, more has to be done, both from the government. You may not want to hear this, but I need to say it. I don't know how far this has to go. We need to, the government, even we need to bring down the effects, the sensitization and awareness of climate change to the people. That is where it starts from. If it means coming to Badagry and speaking in the dialect that Baba Bimbola or Baba Mr. B that has started it, that has an advantage within his area and has started it, how we can skill in knowledge into them, understanding the importance of climate change and
I think that is a bad network from his own end there, and I'm very sure he's going to join us back. If you are just joining us, this is Mr. Azuka, an aquaculturist, a farmer in Port Harcourt that is talking to us about how can farmers mitigate the effect of climate change, and that is what we have been discussing about. So we are trying to let people understand the fundamental things they need to know when it comes to climate change. You know, climate change is real. Yes, I do say that climate change is real. If you are saying climate change is real, that means you are still not knowing what you are doing, because climate change is really affecting everybody. You know, it is something that is not even in news again. You know, you see video going on social media about what happened in Meduguri and Bruno. You know, and I've always been saying this, that how ready are you for this rain that ceased, that stopped to maybe even rain sometimes ago, which I definitely believe that is going to come back very soon. Now I'm asking, you know, it happened at Bruno. Now who knows where and the rain is going to next? And that is why I'm saying we need to start preparing and start planning towards this rain, this heavy rain. And these are one of the effects of climate change. But we know it is not just about the rain alone. We are talking about the drought. We are talking about many things that has impact, that has a factor to play when it comes to climate change. And that is why we have an expert from the hand there, which is a farmer that is talking to us about what climate change is all about and what are the fundamental things people need to know when it comes to climate change. We are not going to stay long on this show today because it's just going to be brief. But this is not going to be the last part. We are going to be talking about the climate change effect now. It's going to be like an episode show where we're going to be bringing Mr. Azuka from the other end again to talk to us about how can we mitigate the effect of climate change, especially how this is affecting our fish farmers. You know, especially what happened in Mediguri is about water, and you know, fish they love water a lot, and they don't even know where to go when it comes to flooding. It's just as if it's a big loss to any farmer that has issue with flooding, and that is why we bring in on board to come and talk to us about how can farmers mitigate the effect of climate change. Yes, I hope if he's able to join us back, we are going to be bringing him back. And if he did not, probably maybe we are going to shift the program to another episode where we are going to be talking more about what you need to do when it comes to climate change. Let us just go on this short break. I'll be right back.
Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
Farming is not just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainees and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, welcome back from that short break. We have Mr. Azuka back. I think because of the network, that is why we've not been able to hear him very well. So I think he's back now. So I think we'll go straight to something because in the next 5-10 minutes, in the next 5 minutes, we should be rounding up the show because I know we are going to be able to have a lot of things to hear from you in our next episode because this is going to be very. So I think our network here is not even too good, not just your own alone. But you are talking about something our farmers need to understand when it comes to fundamental things they need to know when it comes to climate change. So over to you.
Okay, now let me give you for the my own share of experience as a fish breeder. I realized where we were doing production, things were moving well, and over a period of time, things changed. Even right now, within where I stay, we have
I think this is serious. Even someone can testify to it. That is John Manaye said network is not friendly, and it is true. That is just the country we find ourselves. It is not friendly at all. So I think for us not to waste time and for us not to disturb ourselves too much on this, I think we need to find a particular time, a suitable time whereby we'll be able to talk more about this particular topic we are talking about, because it is a wide topic that will need us to talk about it and dealt with the topic very well, so that we'll be able to learn a lot from it as well. So till I come your way next time, my name is Garuba Fisolumdi once again. I'll talk to Mr. Azoka at the back end. Probably we are going to fix another day in which we are going to have a good time for the show. Thank you and God bless.